All right, guys, episode 5, Dynasty Trades in 5. I am Clay with DynastyPandemic.com.
I'm Shane with Dynasty Trades HQ and Dynasty Trades in 5.
Dynasty Trades in 5. Scott at Charles Chill FFB, Dynasty and Chill. I'm ready for this one. Let's go.
Yeah, we got the Scott, the resident Bengals fan over there. We're talking about his boy Jamar Chase. Let's skip the foreplay, go right to the maybe wide receiver 1 overall conversation already after today's performance. I don't know. He's definitely up there, but you guys get going. Scott, go ahead, start us off.
Man, where to even start? I mean, wide receiver overall, number 1. I mean, listen, you could not have scripted a better start for Chase's career, to the point where, if you just look at his numbers that he's on pace for, it's, pretty insane for a rookie, like best rookie season ever, pretty close to it. He's close to 500 yards already. His target share has jumped up the last 2 weeks to where now, he's averaging 7 targets a game, and obviously he hasn't gotten 7 targets a game, and he does have a pretty high touchdown rate. But I think the encouraging thing is, he's producing basically what the profile says. There's been really no issues with the drops, none of the stuff that we heard about, not being in sync with Burrow or the offense not being in sync. And I think the other thing that's kind of impressive is look at his market share. It isn't a team that's had to air it out for him to put up his stats either. He's been super efficient. So, if the volume ever comes back, and I'm not sure if the volume ever is going to come back like it did last year. I don't think that's how the team wants to play. But there's going to be games where they get in games where it's okay, they have to throw. They can't run the ball, or, Nixon's out, which is probably going to be like the rest of his career. He's going to be in and out, it seems. I just think that the ceiling is, I made this comparison before we started. It's kind of setting up to be like a Devontae Adams, Aaron Rodgers connection. And I'm not saying he's as good as Adams or Burrow's going to be as good as Rodgers, but they kind of have I was sitting with somebody watching the game today, and they're just yeah, they didn't know that Chase played with Burrow in college. And it's they just have a chemistry. They know where they're at the field. And you can see it when you watch. It's different than what it looks like with T. Higgins. You can clearly see the difference between the two. So I don't know. He's 21 and he's producing like this. And every other player we've seen that's produced like this at 21, their value skyrockets. And if it's going to go higher than it was, I don't see how it's close to being wide receiver 1.
Yeah, the only thing that could stop him from being a wide receiver 1, or the wide receiver 1, I should say, not A, because he was already a wide receiver 1 in startup drafts this year.
Or you can step foot on the field, yeah.
Yeah, so the only thing that could stop him from being the wide receiver 1 is Justin Jefferson continuing to do what he does, except adding some touchdowns to it, or DK Metcalf just going nuclear and getting a 34% target share, or A.J. Brown getting healthy for 4 weeks straight. But, we don't see A.J. Brown getting healthy for 4 weeks. That's a stretch. That is a big stretch. But at worst, he's going to be one of the probably 4-5 guys at most, probably 4 guys that you go, no, he's definitely someone that's going to be the wide receiver 1. And you probably are going to have to pay those prices for him. I was looking at some trades on the DLF Trade Finder. If you traded for him last week, good for you. Because I saw him traded straight up for Najee Harris, which I would make that trade every day of the week, and then call that person's mother and thank them for creating such a wonderful child, for giving me such a gift. Yeah.
So, yeah. Hey, Scott. So if you had Jamar Chase and somebody offers you Tyreek Hill straight up, you're turning it down?
Yeah, because honestly, other than the nuclear production from Tyreek last week, obviously he has a ceiling that you can't match with hardly any other player in the NFL. But I just don't see the reason to make the deal. Honestly, even if I'm contending, is Jamar Chase hurting your lineup? No, that's not the difference between you winning or losing versus Tyreek. Yeah, I just don't see the reason to.
It'd be such a quandary if you had Mahomes and you'd be getting the stack. You're like, shit. Feel basic to get the stack here, but I know it's totally different, but yeah.
So Chase has got 3 weeks now, 3 out of 5 weeks where he's eclipsed 20 points. He hasn't had the Tyreek Hill, I've scored 50 points on you week yet. But like Scott said, that's going to come one of these weeks when they're in a shootout, when they have to throw, because they haven't really had to be in a shootout yet. They are a very different offense than what I guess we kind of hoped they would be, which would be 70 pass attempts a game and Joe Burrow running for his life and, a bunch of 45 to 40 shootouts. But he's going to have weeks when they have to have that, and he's going to put up some monster, incredible weeks.
Yeah, he's ridiculously high value right now. I mean, what can you say? He's tough to acquire, but we should keep each other posted. Like what we see is like, man, I managed to get him. What'd you have to pay?
You know what he is? He's one of those players where it's okay to pay cost for it.
Yeah,
I know. Yeah. In Dynasty, we are like soccer moms because we love deals. We love breaking out coupons and going, look what I got. But sometimes, look, you just need to pay top end prices to get top end assets, and he's a player that is well worth it.